What's up, guys? Jim Squares here. Got some money solutions for you on home energy tips. So save more with these energy tips. But first, make sure to like and subscribe down below, share with others, and we'll get to it right away. So, a couple things. So, one is you want LED lights in general, or some other kind of high efficiency light bulb in your house. And I have a bunch. I have them pretty much everywhere now. I did make the conversion. That will save you oodles of money. There's also a honeygram. I will find that right now, actually. So let's find. Here you go. Focus on energy. This is a pretty good tip where it gives all kinds of stuff in here. What you could do is, if you don't want to go out and buy the stuff now, just subscribe to this. And what it will do is it will send you deals every once in a while and say, hey, you can get deals on LED lighting, or you can get deals on smart thermostats. I'm pretty sure I bought everything through them. Quite a bit of these tools. So I'll say in relation to LED lights. So they're the best deal. Anywhere else I've tried IKEA ones, they're okay. Some other places, and I should have just waited to get the coupon from these guys. They're way better, and it's associated with your, they'll send it right to you. You don't have to do anything. It's pretty fantastic. Another thing that I recommend is a home energy audit. So here, what you're looking at here is the energy audit from my house. So I did this a little while ago, and a couple of years ago, like right almost when I moved in. If you move into a house, I would highly recommend getting this done before you move anything in, because then you can check your walls without anything against them, because I think that was one of the gaps. So, but he says, hey, what are your concerns? And I wanted to, essentially, these are the three issues that I had. And now it didn't solve all of them, but it did help identify like what the order is. And he said he prioritized essentially the findings of these. And he came in and did this audit, and then essentially after doing this audit, he said, hey, I'll come back and I'll do the audit again after you've implemented all these changes to make sure you're the people who did it are legit, and they actually did the work that we said to do, like blowing in insulation, sealing, air sealing stuff. And I got all that work done, and he died. So that was unlucky. So I never did get somebody to come back and make sure I got all these things done. But I did feel the difference. So to me, they did do the work, and I trust the people who did it. So that's where these things came into play. And this is where he prioritizes stuff. I think I did all of these. And then I blew in more insulation, the sill boxes, air seal, the attic scuttle. So this is one that I highly recommend, which I'd never heard of anywhere else. So, but essentially looking at any holes in the side. So there's two core places that I'll talk about air sealing. And so first one is, if you look at the attic, there's an attic hatch, and there's a seal. Like, let's pretend you're looking at me, and I'm the attic hatch. And there's a seal along the edges, like the seam, right? So but what I did is I put hooks into the hatch, and I pulled it down, and I drilled them into the wall. So it was making a tighter seal, because otherwise it's just sitting on top, and air is getting through. So if you essentially pull it down and it holds it together, that's one way of doing it. So that's one thing I did. I never go in my attic. There's no reason to. There's just no need. So what I did there too is I also put a little bead of caulk. Like after you seal it, wait till the winter, and then put your hands up there, and you'll feel cold air coming in. So you could put a little bit of caulk around there, assuming you're not going to open it. If you're going to open it, I don't have something for you unless you put more insulation, because what you could do is you could put a little strip of insulation between so if this is the seal, this is the sill where it sits on, and this is the cap, I'll say, you put a little piece of insulation all around the edging, and you could compress it on it, and it will help seal it better. That's about the best you're going to do. Especially those hooks will work too, because that'll get it tighter, but you obviously don't want to caulk it like I did. So I did clear caulk, which is fine because I never opened the thing. That was air sealing I did in the attic. The other thing I noticed, and I don't remember if he noticed this or if I did before he came, I must have found it before, is when I was cleaning out my basement. I'm an old house. It's like over 100 years old. And there's boulders in the basement. So there's boulders, and there's cement, and it's all a bunch of old stuff. Crawl spaces, dirt, all that good stuff. And I noticed that one time when I was down there at night, or during the day, you want to go during the day when it's really bright out, and you want to look at the sides. I saw light coming in. So that's how bad that ceiling was. So what I did is I took like a spray foam can, and I went around the whole frame, all the way around. I crawled through all this dirt and all this grime, get some garbage on, You're going to get dirty if you do this, but it is well worth it. And I seal up my house way better than it ever was with just those 2 tips in particular. The airflow is much less than it was. So those are the things that I recommend highly on doing in order to get the most out of your home efficiency. If anything, if you don't do an energy audit, it's fine. At least take some of these tips. Then you could go to, I know there's all kinds of, like, every state has these places that they go. I like to look at the ones that are like further north. So what is Michigan, or what is like the most northern place? What do they say to do? Canada, what does they say to do their homes? And I try to do it here because they're north of me, obviously. But that's what I got. To continue learning, I recommend checking out my video on savings most people miss on insurance. In the meantime, keep growing together. Make sure to like and subscribe, share with others, and we'll be talking later.